Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are going to talk about how COVID-19 changed our saving and spending habits. As the world economy begins to recover and reopen, many consumers are still scrambling to regain their financial footing. While the conventional wisdom is to store away 6 to 12 months worth of savings, that became impossible for many during the COVID-19 pandemic. Millions of people lost their jobs, small businesses were forced to shutter, and day-to-day living expenses piled up. The stimulus check helped, but barely enough. As a result, there are now those who were able to save and those who struggle to make ends meet. Financial advice remains the same, pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. It's important to build up an emergency fund and create a personal financial plan. COVID-19 also highlighted the need to have a budget, however small it may be. Financial advisors are available to help. Ask for referrals and take it one step at a time. Many racked up debt during the pandemic, while others were able to save. Savers are ready to spend, but advisors caution about reining in the urge to splurge. Compared to the year 2020, more people said that they are planning to save more than they spent in 2021. A survey showed that nearly 70% of the population saying their financial well-being had been negatively impacted by COVID-19. Layoffs, reduced work hours, salary cuts, and overall less incomes were the top 3 reasons. Prior to the pandemic, 71% said they had a sufficient emergency fund. Now, 42% say they need to replenish their emergency fund, with 44% saying they need to increase the size of it. The pandemic has reminded us of the importance of having a budget. When you know where your money is going, it can make it easier to isolate needs and wants and shift more towards necessities. For some, that may be much easier said than done. But the truth is the pandemic impacted people very differently. The key lesson is circumstances can change very rapidly. Only 30% of the population said their finances had improved during the pandemic, mostly due to less spending, which was a luxury that not everyone had. While there was a lot more saving going on over the past years, it's a concern that people will feel a sense of relief coming out of the pandemic and overspend to make up for lost time. As more people get vaccinated, the urge to get out and spend will likely continue to increase. Many are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel and are ready for a reset. While all of these figures are good news for the economy, that doesn't mean consumers should spend without much thinking. The fundamentals of personal financial planning, of thinking long-term and spending less than you earn while keeping an emergency fund, has proven to be the saving grace for more people. The conventional rule of thumb to aim for 6 to 12 months of emergency fund saved in the event that you lost your job still applies. But perhaps the pandemic caused many to re-evaluate the importance of this buffer and the likelihood that they may need to use it at some point. Those in a more financially bad position will need to proceed with more caution. While many types of debt received forbearance during the pandemic, it's likely that these protections will eventually be lifted, so be ready for any debt obligations. Some of it comes down to planning, yet only about 1/3 of the world's population actually have a financial plan in writing. Ask yourself, what are the prospects of your income returning? If the answer is not good, then you may be forced into thinking about career change, which comes with its own sets of challenges and stressors. If you can't do anything to improve your income, then look at your expenses. Is there any room to negotiate payment plans or cut anything out? If you have received COVID-19 mortgage forbearance, rent relief, or student loan relief, then look carefully at the rules about when it ends and what happens next. The pandemic has been a scary wake-up call about how lives can be overturned with very little warning. For many, this will be an experience they don't want to go through again. As the economy regains its footing, having to dig out of debt makes it even more crucial to start thinking about the future and set manageable short-term and long-term financial goals. It may seem like a lofty goal for those who are barely making ends meet. But there is help out there. Try talk to your friends and find out what works or doesn't work for you. Ask friends to recommend a financial advisor. Some will give a free initial consultation. More importantly, take it one step at a time. The ultimate goal is to work toward building an emergency fund. That advice has been true pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. How that is achieved will vary depending on your circumstances. A lot of us have learned some tough lessons, but what's important is to start somewhere. I'll share more about personal financial planning, financial goals, and etc. in the coming videos. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, give the video a like, and share it with your friends and family. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one.